Hello guys, have you ever tried cooking overseas culinary at your home? So in this video, I want to share my experience in cooking Egyptian falafel or طعمية. So Egyptians, I'm sorry if I mispronounce it. I try to pronounce it properly in Arabic. So I first learned from some videos. I think I watched about 10 or maybe more or something videos on how to cook Egyptian falafel. Actually, first I wanted to cook mm, Israeli falafel because falafel is common in the Middle East, correct? So when I found Egyptian falafel, I think this is unique because the other falafel uses chickpeas. Egyptian falafel uses fava beans. So I decided to search for fava beans in a convenience store near my house. So I didn't use raw fava beans to cook my self-made Egyptian falafel. I bought fava beans for snack from the convenience store. I bought it. This was my first time. I wanted to practice first. And besides, I want to avoid, well, scammers or, you know, some sellers sell foods with low quality. Maybe beans with low quality. I want to avoid that. So I don't cost a lot of money to myself. So long story short, I bought fava beans from the convenience store, and I also bought some ingredients. Actually, I didn't use all ingredients that I learned from the recipes in Indonesian or in English. So I wanted to make it simple for my first time to cook طعمية. So I used fava beans, I used celery, leek, I also used cumin seeds, I also used ground coriander, and I also used chili powder that I have at home, salt, baking soda, baking powder, and actually I found a cooking video that uses vegetable oil, but because this is my first time, I don't want to take it too complicated, so I just use the frying oil at my home. And you know what happened? When I bought the celery and leek from the city market, my parents got angry at me. Why? Because I didn't clean the leek and the celery I bought. I just, put it inside the fridge with, the soil still sticking on the roots. So, long story short, I tried to cook it on the next day, and you know what? Some succeeded, and some turned into crumbles. And when I tried it, it has very low flavor. And my parents said it has no flavor. So I don't know, can I say it failed or what? Because some has the shape like the tutorial I saw, and some failed. And I tried to cook it second time, on the another time, not in the same day, of course. And on the second trial, I made something new. I used vanilla milk creamer. So my plan was to make milk filling. I wanted to make it have sweet milk flavor. And in the second trial, I didn't use garlic and onion because on the first trial I used 1 garlic and 1 onion. Actually, I reduced the recipes into maybe half. Some of the recipes I reduced it into half because on the tutorial I watched, the fava beans told is one recipe say 300 grams, one suggested 400 grams. So I think I predict it was about 100 grams. I used about 100 grams of fava beans. And on the second trial, I used 2 teaspoons of coriander, 1 teaspoon of cumin seed, 1 teaspoon of chili powder, and sawdust pepper, powder pepper, half teaspoon of cornstarch, baking soda, half teaspoon, baking powder half teaspoon, and the salt. I made a change because on the first time I think I forgot how much salt did I use. But on the second trial I used 2.5 teaspoons of salt. So for the milk creamer, I didn't use on all the dough. I made some without milk and I separate some with milk. And I tried to put the dough on the fridge, in the fridge. So after I put on the fridge, I shape the dough into balls. I don't think I made all into balls. Maybe I make it into, well, something like this. So like a horizontal tube or something. I don't know how to describe it in English. But I just follow the instruction I saw in the video how to shape the falafel. So I shaped it and I put it into fridge again. And after that, I fried the falafel. On the first trial, I didn't put the dough into the fridge twice. I only put it once. Then I shaped it and I fried it. So in the second trial, the taste is better, and my parents said the taste is acceptable. So I also tasted it and it is better than the first one I made. You know, it has a typical taste. I don't know how to describe it, but it is not the same like the fries we have in Indonesia. Like in risol, in risol, I forgot. But long story short, there are more falafels that did not crumble into pieces rather than the first one. More falafel succeeded to be fried perfectly, and not perfectly, but not destroyed, rather than the first one. Well, I think I made about 30 pieces of falafel on the second trial. I forgot how many did I make on the first trial. Actually, I didn't use all the ingredients, but I think it's good for my first trial to make falafel. And as an additional note, I only made falafel. I didn't make the tahini, the garlic sauce, and I also didn't make the pita bread. You know, I saw in the tutorial video, after the falafel is done, the falafel was put into bread and made into sandwich, and it was eaten with tahini sauce. I only made the falafel. That's it about my experience in cooking طعمية. And how about you guys? Have you ever tried to cook overseas culinary at your home? What is it? This is your experience down below. And Egyptians, if you have any comments or critiques, because I'm sure my طعمية is not perfect, please do comment down below. I'd love to learn from you, because طعمية originates from your land, right? And especially if you are good in cooking طعمية. So that's it for this video, guys. Actually, I learned about something else since I tried to cook it. I make it on my own. Just don't make it complicated when it is your first time, because when you think too much, you will never do it. I mean, the possibility of you going to do it becomes smaller. Yes, you must prepare for it, but don't make things overcomplicated. And let us keep on learning so that we don't go backwards, but instead we go forward. The Lord bless us all. Amen.